Hey everyone, I'm Paul, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be discussing about tips and plans of how to set up a amusement park vacation. We're also going to be asking people for their personal experience of traveling, so let's get started. I'm fortunate enough to travel to so many different amusement parks around the country with my travel buddy, mom and dad. I have personally a lot of experience of itineraries, budgets, and in specific parks. I'm also teaching y'all like the ins and outs and the tips that I do when planning a vacation trip. Now, at first, we have to look at what parks you want to go to. You have many different options depending on the season. Like if you're going in summertime, pretty much every North America amusement park is open. But if you're going between like November, December, January, February, and etc., those are kind of considered to be off season for many different parks, including Midwestern parks, Pacific Northwest. So a lot of the East Coast and West Coast parks are open year round, including in Florida, Nevada, California. Many parks, including places like Kings Dominion, Carowinds, pretty much all the Florida parks, pretty much majority of the California parks are year-round operations. Many parks open on weekends, and you also got to stay wary about coaster closures because many parks tend to close their rides around the holidays because of refurbishments and like refurbishments under construction whatnot. So I will look into checking the park closures, coaster closures on it should be on a website or even call the park and making sure that every ride is open during your dates because it can really hinder on a trip and really ruin a trip because of that reason. Because it happened to me when I went to SeaWorld because what's so crazy about I think maybe about a month or no, 2 weeks before my trip to SeaWorld back in December 2021, they said Kraken was going to be open. If you didn't know, around that time, Kraken was um, getting a repaint. That's what it got the new colors now. And it said it was going to open the date I was literally going to go. The night of, they literally changed it until like January. So I was disappointed because I really wanted to ride Kraken. But don't worry, I went back to SeaWorld in the summertime and I did get to ride it. But it really hindered on the trip. And also, Icebreaker was still closed, which I already knew. But I knew I was going to ride it in the summertime, so I didn't really mind. But that can really hinder on a trip. So we're going to be asking one person what's their favorite amusement park and why. So it's all yours.
My favorite amusement park is probably Six Flags because they have great rides and great food.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's time to find flights. You can choose from many different sites. You can look on Groupon or Booking because many of those sites give you flight options, but I recommend looking into getting the best option because many hotels and many vacation packages have flights, but it's with like a really crappy airline. I'm not gonna say what, but I will structure a trip depending on Tuesday and Wednesday because they have the lowest ticket prices and you can structure your travel schedule to these dates for a less crazy airport experience and really just a better experience which you get on a weekend. Now, when we're booking a hotel, I recommend getting a vacation package with the park because you can save tons of money by getting one because many include dining plans, fast passes, and even special seating for shows and fireworks shows. And they should have many options for what hotel you can choose. Choose one that fits best your needs, but I recommend getting a hotel that includes a free shuttle and free breakfast because, like I said, you save tons of money. I'm not going to like a Denny's or like getting Ubers and Lyfts. And if you're not getting a vacation package, I recommend using Booking.com or Priceline. Those are the two places I use when I'm not getting a vacation package. But also, too, many hotels, especially if they're right by the amusement park, should have be selling discounted park tickets. But make sure you call ahead and make sure you can actually purchase them because many of them have the excuse of using COVID and whatnot. It's kind of not an excuse anymore. So make sure when you're planning a vacation, if they have an option for a vacation package, get it. Or if they don't, purchase, do everything separately because it doesn't matter which way, but because you can be by yourself, I recommend if you're a single person getting just a hotel than the park tickets. If you're going with a family, I recommend a vacation package. You save tons of money at the long end. Now it's time to get park tickets. If you don't already have none, I recommend using Undercover Tourist. Undercover Tourist is basically a website you can get discounts on pretty much every major amusement park around the country. They have many of the Florida parks, California, and even places around the entire country, not just in Florida or California. They have in Atlanta, Chicago, Boston, New York, LA, tons. And even too, I recommend using Groupon for like you can many amusement parks are on there, but if you want to do something like a mini golf or like a fun entertainment center, they have tons of discounts you can get on there. And also too, when you're looking up, you can use pretty much any website, but stay worried that they're official ticket sellers of that park because you don't want to get scammed and then have to get to the park and the tickets don't work. That's like my worst nightmare. So make sure it's a valid authorized ticket seller. Hey, so we're gonna be some of the sites I recommended is including Undercover Tourist. Undercover Tourist is an amazing website to use. You have many parks in Florida, including Walt Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld, or even in California, Disneyland, Universal Studios Hollywood, etc. And it's not just for those specific two cities. You have many different other cities around the states, including like San Diego, Boston, Chicago, etc. Pretty much just a bunch of tourist spots, Atlanta, so it's not just like those specific places, and you can get tons of discounts here, including your hotel, even a car rental, and even you can get even some vacation packages on here, which I highly recommend. And another website I recommend using is Groupon, and you can search over categories, preferably if you want to do like tickets and events or like sightseeing tours. It's so much stuff you can do. You can get see Universal Studios Orlando discounts. It's so much you can use. I highly recommend doing because you get also save tons of money on this website. And these two websites I personally use when going out on vacations, whatnot. But the most important thing when you look at these websites is that it's an authentic ticket seller. You see how Undercover Tourist has ticket seller Walt Disney World or authorized retailer of Universal right here. I'm gonna circle it. And you also have SeaWorld, so when looking into these places, make sure it's an or authentic seller of those tickets because you do not want to get scammed. And when you get to the parks, they say this ticket is not valid because that's like personally my worst nightmare. But these are the two websites I highly recommend using with saving money. You can use tons of other websites. There's so many out there, but this is just what I recommend for everyone. So, yeah. I recommend using a travel budget planner so you can put down the cost of everything step by step, including souvenirs, hotel, car, park tickets, or if you have a rent a car, you can put in gas, and then like you have food, souvenirs, all that into the total price, and even you can incorporate it into your actual budget and save for it over time. But I also recommend to get the tickets for airline tickets and the vacation package as soon as possible because demand does come higher when it comes close to the date. So whatever the ticket price now, make sure you get it at least I'll say maybe like 2 months or a month ahead before you actually on your vacation date because you save tons of money and then you don't want to be getting it at the last minute and it's like $5,000 compared to like $1,000. So that's what I recommend. And the final question we're going to be asking is, when you travel, how do you set a budget for a vacation?
Well, again, big family, so we try to save money as much as we can. In general, we don't do big restaurants. We'll do quick fast food and use coupons or go to the grocery store and pack food so that when we're actually driving, we're not stopping to spend lots of money at a restaurant or a fast food place. I have a spreadsheet that helps me plan gas mileage and food, but no matter what I end up doing, we always end up spending way more than we budgeted because of little travel costs and souvenirs and things that you really don't expect, but you can't say no when we're actually traveling.
Now it's time to have fun. Going on really any vacation in general is tons of fun, including going to theme parks and beaches or whatever. You can meet so many different people, and even if you're going to an amusement park, really popular amusement park, you're going to guarantee to meet some really nice people, including some enthusiasts, some general staff. Because I met so many different people, have tons of fun. I even had fun with, if you guys didn't know, Mike with Intensity Thrills. So much fun with that Orlando trip, and even then, you get to experience some of the world's best roller coasters and rides, and even experience shows, fireworks, everything. So hope you guys enjoyed this video of my tips and advice. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Subscribe and like for more content like this. See y'all.